Hello, this is David Kielbowick with Model My Watershed. I'm from James River High School in Chesterfield, Virginia. Following is a video made from a Google slideshow from pictures my students and I have put together from various activities that we worked with Model My Watershed during this past school year. We had several issues with this. One, I probably waited too late in the school year. My seniors had already checked out, and the juniors were well on their way to checking out, and we were being interrupted by this standardized test and that standardized test. We also, believe it or not, was disrupted by the weather. The weather, with all the rain, should have made it very interesting and easy to follow the water, but the students did not want to go out into the rain to follow the water. So here we have some students, my multicultural students, mostly 11th and 12th graders, working on various Model My Watershed activities. Some students really got into it, and as you can see from this picture, there are students that got frustrated. They would put their head down, they're been distracted, okay, and you can see the type of students that I had working with Model My Watershed, a very multicultural, diverse population. So we did have a very good schoolyard walk and take a look at the schoolyard in terms of Model My Watershed. Okay, here's a topographic map that we put together, and we're to follow from A, B, C, D, E, F, and H. So we have an outdoor classroom. If you look carefully, you can see some rain barrels. There are pervious and impervious sidewalks to get into the classroom. We talked about why there were both types of sidewalks, and there's an attempt at a rain garden with the outdoor classroom. We have a teacher parking lot full with impervious paving. When it rains, the question became, where does the water go? We found that the water would flow into a storm sewer over here. We did find the storm sewer marked that it drains to the waterway. And that leads to the question, just how does it get to the waterway? As we leave the teacher parking lot, there's a sidewalk here. Sidewalk, you can see, is there's permeable pavers over there. There's mulch on either side of the permeable pavers, and that's for allow when the students don't walk on the sidewalk that they're not compacting the soil. Students often ask why we had this type of sidewalk going from the gym over to our football field and everything. After Model My Watershed, they had a better understanding. We also had some wetlands with a little stream that flows through there. The students could see how the water from the parking lots got added to that stream, and we traced the stream down through our James River campus. We found that we had two storm sewer, vegetated areas that collected the rainwater and allowed it and held it to allow it to soak into the ground. Here's the second one. You can see on the right hand side of the picture some of the water. Continue walking from the storm sewer storage. We walk down through the park, still tracing the water. And here's most of the water that flows from James River High School, from the teacher parking lot and student parking lot, through the sewers, through the stream, down in the James River. Also have a second access, and this one they put some culvert pipes in and built a park over it, so students were able to see where that water came from. Here's some student notes that we came up with each of the areas that we just talked about. We did some moisture measurements using the tracker devices that were made for Model My Watershed. We took a look at this particular area. You can see the mulch bed, you can see the compacted soil, and then you can see some grassy areas. So students took some measurements using the, the tracker and everything. Went back to the classroom, we shared some of the information and started to analyze it. And some students definitely needed some extra help working their way through the Model My Watershed modules. Here's the results that we got from classroom results. The mulch bed had an average moisture content of 5%, the packed soil 1%, and the green grass 10%. So the actual percents that packed soil should have a lower moisture content than the green grass was supported in real life with what they were getting from the Model My Watershed work. Did have a student get a little bit interested, and he came to the campus during a rainstorm one weekend and took some pictures tracing the water in the rain. So he started up by the James River campus. He saw where the water was flowing across the parking lot, showing up here in the upper part, came down, flowed down through the street, and flowed into the sewer over here. He could see where the water, the ground got saturated, the channels were being created, and how the water was being diverted into different culvert pipes. Here is another parking lot. He was trying to show the water flowing from the upper part of the parking lot to the lower part of the parking lot. And you can see we did get caught in some rain. Again, some more saturated ground, some more runoff, and leading to the James River. We talked about all that water from James River High School and the local subdivision flowing down through the system, going into the James River, and got out the map showing that James River flows down in the Chesapeake. And I feel it really drove the point home that what we do on campus as an individual affects everybody downstream. Thank you. That's my video. I hope it meets your standards, and I did enjoy the Model My Watershed. I look forward to even better things this year.